Okay, so good afternoon everyone. Welcome to Maths EAPCET crash course. So today we'll be discussing the topic of what? Vectors. I'm audible? So good afternoon everyone. Yeah, fine. So when we talk about vectors, is highly important topic. Listen, you have to focus on the class. Highly important topic. Why? Because if you take AP, you are getting 4 questions. If you are talking about TS, that is for our state, we will be getting 4 to 5 questions. 4 or 5 questions from this topic of vectors. Okay, from the topic of vectors. And the knowledge of vectors is very important to understand the topic of 3D geometry, where you study direction, cosines, ratios, all these things. So the vectors will be helpful there also. Clear? And vectors standalone topic, if you talk about, you are getting 4 to 5 questions. So and the topic is what? Topic is easy. See, some questions will be calculative, but the topic is what? Easy to moderate. It is not difficult. Okay, unlike you see some questions in calculus, here the topic is easy, and if you know the basics, if you know the certain formulas, it is easily solvable. Out of 4 to 5 questions, all the questions you can attend and you can get it correct. That's a good thing about vectors. Like I told in one of the class, what are the topics that you must do to get minimum 40 plus marks out of 80? That is easy topics. Out of that, vectors is also there. Okay, that's why this topic is important, because it is easy, first thing. Next thing is what? It is important for you to study other topics also. Vectors is important, and also some knowledge of vectors already you have, because you have studied in physics also. What is vectors? All these things. Okay, so let us get started with vectors. And in the first class, on the first half of the session, I will be talking mainly about the concepts, mainly theoretical. Okay, because once you know the theory, questions will be solving. It's not like we won't be solving questions, like we'll be solving lot of questions, but in the initial class, initial half of the session, we'll be talking mainly about the theory, because your concepts should be clear, then solving the questions becomes easy. And when it comes to vectors, because it's an imaginary thing, when it comes to vectors, you have to imagine certain things which I say. Okay, coplanar means what, collinear means what, all these things. So let us get started. So when we talk about the vectors, I write it here itself. The syllabus, if you talk about, first thing is what? We are having addition, subtraction of vectors. Then we have dot product. Okay, and also we have what? Projection of vector on another vector. Then cross product. Correct? So this is the syllabus that we have for JEE mains. But if you talk about for EAPCET, it is even more. It is there. What is that? Triple product. Triple product, that is this one. Scalar triple product. Okay, cross product. Triple cross product, that is A cross B cross C. Okay, this will be there, or they can ask A dot B cross C. Such kind of things will be there when it comes to your EAPCET. Okay, so syllabus is more, that is the syllabus is more for EAPCET compared to JEE mains. But the level of questions are easy compared to JEE mains when it comes to vectors. Because here if you know the concept, just knowing the formula, that's enough. But when it comes to JEE mains, although this much is the syllabus, you have to think a lot. Like I told you, what is the difference between mains and EAPCET? Here you have to solve more, you have to practice more. In what is that? In JEE mains, you have to think a lot, because there will be mixture of concepts that will be given. 2-3 chapters they will combine and give in one question. But here, one chapter only. Okay, they will give directly from vector. Sometimes they will combine here also. Okay, so let us start. So that's what is given here. Distance, triple product, all these things, projection. So let us start with what is a vector. Before that, we should know what is a scalar. Scalar means what? It is having only magnitude. Okay, in mathematical terms, if you talk about example, you can take real numbers. All the real numbers are scalar. Okay, they don't have any direction, they only have magnitude. They only have magnitude or mass of any object. That is what? That is also a scalar. Okay, so this is having mass. Please listen, this is having mass. Okay, mass is measured in what is the unit of mass? Kg, right? Kg. So this is now a scalar. Suppose if I talk about this 2 kgs if I say, this is a scalar. But if I apply some force and this moves like this in this direction, okay, it is having force, and also that is it due to what? Due to force it is having what? Direction. Okay, this ball, this mass ball will move towards some direction. So that is now having direction also. So now it becomes a vector. Okay, now we don't say that the body is having a mass, it is having a weight. It is having weight. Weight is a what? Scalar or vector? Weight is vector. Weight is vector. Mass is scalar. Weight is what? Unit of weight is what? Newton, right? Newton. Weight is having what? Direction and also this thing. Mass of any object, be it in earth or moon, it will remain the same. But weight, my weight here and my weight in moon, it will be different. Because moon mass is 1/4 of the mass of the earth. So first here I am 80 kg, there I will be 20 kg, 1/4. Okay, don't glance now whether I am 80 or 100. Okay, just telling. Okay, so let us continue. This is what? Vector. So when we talk about vector, a physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction is called a vector. If vector is represented by a directed line segment, then A to B are called initial and terminal point. That I told. See, if it is starting from here and ending here, so this is called initial point, and where it ends, that is called terminal points. But it is not necessary that all the vectors have initial and terminal points. There are some vectors we call them as free vectors. Okay, there is no initial point or ending point. They are called free vectors. Okay. Suppose I write like this, AB. On top of this, if I write like this AB is what? This length is what? This is magnitude, and this line is representing what? Direction. This line is representing what? Direction. Now, for illustration, if I say, let me take it up here itself. I told you AB is a vector. AB is a vector. That means what? This is having direction, that is directed from A to B. AB is a vector. Okay. This length AB is what? Its magnitude. This length AB is what? Is magnitude, and this is what? Direction, like I told you. Out of this total line, I want only a few amount of length. Okay. Let me consider then that length as what? 1 unit. I want only this 1 unit. Okay. I want only this 1 unit. Let it be in this direction, along the direction of the vector. 1 unit means what? We will write it like this. Okay. Suppose I represent this vector AB as vector A. As vector A, this 1 unit what I want from this total length of A is called as what? A cap. What we call it as? A cap. This A cap is nothing but what? It is a unit vector. Why it is a unit vector? Because its magnitude is 1. Magnitude is of unit. Okay, that is magnitude is of what? Unit length. So that is why it is called as what? Unit vector. So out of this total AB, I want only some amount of the vector which is having the length of what? 1 unit, be it 1 centimeter or whatever. So that we call it as what? A cap. That we call it as what? A cap. From where we are getting? A vector A. A bar will write as vector A. Out of that, I want only A cap. What is the magnitude of that? 1 unit. So I want a magnitude of this. This is called as what? A cap is equal to vector A by magnitude of A. A cap is equal to what? Vector A by magnitude of A. So what is this magnitude A? Suppose I represent vector A like this. I, J plus K. I plus J plus K. What are this I, J, K? They are representing the coordinate axes. Vector is representing 3Ds. Okay, 3 dimension. If I talk about, see here, if it is like this is I, this is J, this is K. So it is representing 3 directions. Okay, vector A is representing 3 directions. Suppose I take this vector A as I, J, K. Its magnitude is given by square root of whatever the, what is the coefficient we are having, 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square, that is nothing but root 3. So here A cap will be equal to, what is this? I plus J plus K by root 3. This is A cap. This is A cap. Here I am writing plus. Here I am writing plus. Now see here, for the same thing, I want again unit vector only. I will take the unit vector here. Okay, I want it in this direction. I want it in this direction. Again this will be what? A cap only. You have to listen, very important. Again this will be what? A cap only. Okay, what is the value here? Magnitude will be like this. Vector A by magnitude of A. But here I will write what? Minus. Understood? I will write minus. Understanding? What's your name? Vinay. Sit. Your name? Tushant. Okay. Sushant. Okay. Sushant Vinay. Are you focusing or understanding? So unit vector only. Okay, if the direction changes, it will become what? Minus. Okay, so when they ask a unit vector, in the answer if you get minus, no need to panic. Okay, the formula will always be like this: a cap is equal to plus or minus vector A by magnitude of vector A. Okay, it will be plus or minus. Always it will be plus or minus. Plus means what? Again along the direction. Minus means against the direction of vector A. Okay, clear till here? Unit vector. Okay, fine. Unit vector is length. One unit is called unit vector. That's what I told. Okay, it is represented by a cap. Null vector means which is having magnitude 0. It is represented by 0 to the power this one. Okay, this is the null vector will represent. Next thing, position of a vector or position vector. Position of a vector or position vector. Listen carefully. This is important. Okay, position of a vector or position vector. I told you. See here. Just listen. I told you if I write A to B, this is a vector starting from A and ending B. I will represent it like this A. Okay. To this parallel there is a vector. I will write it like this B. Okay. Parallel I will write some vector like this B. Okay. Now this AB is not a position vector, but it is a normal vector. Okay, and it is represented by vector A. But here B, it is a free vector. It is not having a starting point or ending point. So such a vector is called as what? Position vector. Such a vector is called as what? Position vector. To be more precise, let us take like this. So point vectors, if I take like this, A vector A, point B vector B, okay, point C vector C, okay, vector C. Position vector. What do you mean by this position vector? Okay, in more clear terms, position vector means this is a vector which is starting from the origin, but it has no end point, starting from the origin. Suppose, see here, if you are having so many points like this, okay, if I draw a coordinate axis here, okay, let this represent origin O, okay, let this be point A, let this be point B, let this be point C. This is what? Vector A. This is what? Vector B. This is what? Vector C. Vector A, vector B and vector C. So this vector A, vector B, vector C, they are all what? Free vectors. They are called position vector because their position is directed from the origin. Their position is directed from the origin. Okay. So they are called as what? Position vector. So we represent it just like this: A, B, C. Not like A, B, B, C. No. Okay. So these are all called as what? Free vectors are also called as position vectors. They are also called as what? Position vectors. Now, if I say one more thing, that vector A is there, here vector B is there, here vector C is there, like this. Okay, like this, like this. Now my question to you is, okay, are vector A, vector B and vector C collinear? First question is, are these vectors collinear? Next question is, are these vectors parallel? Shinchan, thank you. Good afternoon. NEET student learn from this video. NEET student, these for NEET, not for NEET student, these for MPC students. I asked a question, no need to discuss, just tell me the answer. Parallel, okay. Collinear? What about collinearity? Just tell me, answer. Vinay, what do you think? Sushant, what do you think? Are they collinear? Sai Nishit, what do you think? What happened? I am asking a question. Bhavani, what do you think? Can they be collinear? Okay. See, just listen. I told you they are free vectors. So suppose I keep vector B here. This is free vector. I can bring and keep it here. Same thing I can bring and keep it here. That means they are collinear and they are also parallel. Okay. So I can bring and keep them here like this. See, the direction is what? same direction, I can bring it and keep it here. This one also I can bring it and keep it here. So they are definitely collinear. So they are definitely collinear. Okay, this is one thing. So regarding position vector, if you talk about, see here, see here, suppose this is O. Okay. This is OA, this is OB. Okay, this is what? Vector A, this is vector B. So this is the direction of this vector, this is the direction of this vector. Okay, if I want to combine this, if I want to join this, if I want to join a line like this, okay, this will always come in this direction. If I want to find AB, it will come in this direction. How to find AB now? How to find AB now? Just listen. My question is, what is the value of AB now? See, listen. AB, how to find AB? OA plus or OB plus? OB minus OA. Okay. My question is, you learned this OB minus OA. Why minus is coming? Why minus is coming? Opposite direction. What is opposite direction? A. How it is opposite direction? See, listen carefully. Why it is negative sign is coming is, see, you want to find AB means you have to start from A. What is the starting point? O. Always you have to come to origin. From A you will come to origin. Okay, that means what? AO you will write it. Then from origin you will go to B. So you want to find AB means this one, please keep this in mind. It is helpful in many questions. So if you want to find AB, it's not like directly you can go to AB. You have to come from A to origin, because this is the starting point. A to O, then O to B. So this is what? Plus OB. Now see here, AO is taken as positive A. AO will be what? Not positive. AO will be minus A. See, this will be what? I can write it as what? This will be minus OA plus OB. Minus OA plus OB. I have changed it. AO will become OA, so this will become minus. OA, what is the vector value? A. So this will become what? Minus A. This will become what? Plus B. Okay. So AB, the value will be equal to what? B minus A. AB, the value will be equal to what? B minus A. Understood? AB value will be equal to what? B minus A. That is how you are getting minus sign. Clear? That is how you are getting minus sign. Next. Now let me take up some example. Suppose if I ask you, vector A, position vector A is given as 3i minus j plus k, and position vector B is given as I plus j minus k. I plus j minus k. Now my question to you is, first find the value of AB, find the value of AB, and then I want you to find the value of A plus B. Find AB. How do you find AB? OA minus, see again, don't do the mistake, it's not OA, it is what? OB minus OA. OB means what? I should take the value. OB means what? It is nothing but B. B minus A. Do that, what you will get? See, you are preparing for EAPCET. For these things you should not write and waste time. So this minus this is what? Minus 2i. This minus this is what? Plus 2j. Plus minus into minus is plus. So this is what? Minus 2k. I can write this as what? 2 into minus I plus j minus k. Correct na? That is what is the value of AB. But this one, A plus B, directly you have to add. Okay, this is different. Directly you have to add. Okay, A plus, these are free vectors. I have to add them. So A plus B, this will become what? 4i. Okay, 0. This is 0j. Otherwise you can leave it, and that's all. Only 4i will be there. Correct na? Only 4i will be there. A plus B means. Clear? That is the meaning of this. Understood what is position vector? All of you understood what is position vector? Okay. Now let us go to what is scalar multiplication of vectors. Okay. Vector means what? It has magnitude and also direction. Scalar means what? It is having only magnitude. So let m and n be real numbers. Real numbers means what? They are definitely scalars. And vector A and vector B are, this is what? Vectors, position vectors. Vector A and vector B, if I just say vector A and vector B, they are position vectors. Now see here, if I say m times n of vector A can be written as what? Mn into vector A. This one you have to write down. Next term, m plus n into vector A can be written as what? You can, this is distributive law. M into vector A plus n into vector A. This should be vector A. Okay. Next thing, m times A, vector A plus vector B. Again, you can write it as what? M times vector A plus m times vector B. Clear? M times vector B. So this is important. You should know this. Now, after write down, please tell me. We'll go to what is like vectors, unlike vectors, and there we'll be studying about parallel vectors also. Written. Now let us study like vectors and parallel vectors. So let me first talk about what is parallel vectors. Okay. See, vector A and vector B. Okay, again I will write vector A and vector B. Out of this, which is parallel and which is not parallel? Both are parallel. Okay. See, both are parallel. See, here the direction is same and yet they are parallel. Here the direction is not same, but still they are parallel. Okay, so these vectors which is having same direction, we call them as what? Like vectors. Okay, what? Same direction, not magnitude. So like vectors. So in parallel vectors there are two types. One is like vector, another one is unlike vectors. Unlike vectors where direction is not same. Okay, here the direction C opposite to the direction of B. A and B are opposite to each other direction. But if you see, they are parallel. They are still parallel. Okay, so out of this relation, suppose if I take like vectors, I can write a relation for parallel vectors, that is vector B or vector A, anything you can take a linear relation. Vector B can be written as excuse me, lambda times vector A. Vector B can be written as lambda times vector A, where lambda belongs to some real number. Okay, lambda belongs to some real number. This is the condition I can write it. It is not just for like vectors, I can write the same condition for unlike vectors also. Okay, vector B can be written as what? Lambda times vector A, or vector A can be written as what? Lambda times vector B. Okay, lambda times vector B. Now here you should know, if it is like vectors, lambda will be positive, lambda will be greater than 0. For what? For like vectors. For like vectors, lambda will be greater than 0, lambda should be positive. For unlike vectors, since the direction is opposite, lambda will be negative, that is lambda will be less than 0 for unlike vectors. For unlike vectors, it is what? Less than 0. Clear? For like vectors, it should be positive. So looking at the question, okay, suppose vector B is given 2 times vector A. 2 is what? A positive value. If it is 2 is positive value, there you should understand they have given what? Like vectors. If they have given -2, it is unlike vectors. And you should know, if they have given a linear relation like this, they are parallel vectors. They are what? Parallel vectors. So if they are parallel vectors, you can write a linear relation in terms of one vector, in terms of another vector. And there will be a constant, that is lambda, k, or whatever they can give. That will be a real number, and that can be positive or negative depending on whether it is like vectors or unlike vectors. Clear? Okay, write this down. This condition is important. If you are done, we will go to the next thing. Written all of you? Neha, understanding? Srinidhi, Liharika, Bhavani, Sai Nishit, Nikhil, Long time no see. You are not there. Okay, fine. So see here, I already discussed about what unit vector. Let A be a non-zero vector, then unit vector in the direction of vector A can be written as what? This is A cap. Okay, I can write it as what? A cap is what? Vector A divided by modulus of vector A. That is magnitude you have to find out. Okay, unit vector in the direction opposite that of it is what? Same thing along with negative sign. That is A cap can be written as what? Like I told you, plus or minus, what is it? vector A by modulus of vector A. Suppose I give you an example. Vector A is given as I plus 2j minus 3k. I want you to find A cap. Find the A cap for this. Find A cap for this. Find A cap in the direction of vector A. In the direction of vector A means what? A cap should be positive value. Okay. Against the direction of vector A means A cap should be negative value. If nothing is mentioned in the option, if there is positive, one is positive, one is negative, you cannot find the answer. One is positive means you can go with the answer. One is negative means if the positive option is not there, you can go with that answer. Okay. So you see here, A cap, what you will do? By root 14. Huh? Understood? Clear? Okay. Now next concept. Understood how to find unit vector, Harsha? Anusha? Now when we talk about vector addition, you would have already known triangle law, parallelogram law of vector addition, all these things. Now vector A, vector B, let us take this as A, B and C. Okay, vector A is denoted by AB, vector B by BC, and AC will denote A plus B. How it will come, you have to know. So this is in this direction and this is in towards BC. This is in this direction. So like I told you, you want to go from A to C. You want to go from A to C means directly you cannot go. So if you want to find AC, what you should do? So you have to go from A to B plus what is that? BC. So that is given by what? Vector A plus vector B. So you have to go in this direction and then you will get AC. And then you will get AC. Clear? Okay, and then you will get AC. Suppose you want to find CA. That is what you will get. If you want to find CA, what is the thing you will get? So your AB means, just listen. AC if I want means from where I am starting? A. CA if I want means from where I should start? C, that's all. So C if you start, this will become what? Minus, and this will also become what? Minus. Both are opposite. So you will get what? Minus vector A plus vector B. Understood? CA will be what? Minus of this, reverse. Understood? So you should know from where you are starting. AC means you should start from A, CA means you should start from C. That's it. Next thing we have is parallelogram law of vectors, that is O, A, B, C. Parallelogram law of vector addition. So since it is a parallelogram, so if this is vector B, this will also be vector B because they are parallel and they are also what? Opposite sides are what in a parallelogram? Opposite sides are equal or what? Equal. Okay. And this will be what? Vector. This will be what? Vector A. Now see here, this is moving in. See, OA, OB, this is in this direction, OA is in this direction. If I want OC, what I should find? If I want OC, what I should do? If I want OC, what I should do? See, just listen. If I want OC, I have to go from O to A to C, or I can go from O to B and B to C. See, triangle. See this one and this direction. Vector B will be in this direction. Since this is in this direction, this will also be in this direction, and this will be in this direction. If I want OC, I have to go from O to A. Then what is this? A to C. So this will give me what? Vector A plus vector B. Vector A plus vector B. Clear? Now my question is, okay, what will this give me? AB. What is the value of AB? AB I am asking. AB. See, AB, just listen, all of you listen. If I want AB, I can either go like this or go like this. Correct? I have to start from A to O. This is what, Vinay? A to O, this is what? Negative A. Sit down. O to B. O to B is positive. So I'll get what? I'll get what? AB. If I want it, I'll get what? One will be negative, that is minus A, plus this will be what? Plus B. So I can write this as what? Vector B minus vector A. This is AB. If I want BA, from where I should start? Liharika, from where I should start? If I want BA, from where I should start? B to O. This will be what? Minus. This will be positive. So I'll get what? A minus B. Understood how to do? From where to start and where to end? Clear? Understood? Because based on this you will get one question. Addition, subtraction, you will get one question. Out of 4 to 5 questions, one question will be from addition, subtraction, and one question will be from dot product. Okay, and one question or combined question you will get from cross product, and triple product also definitely you will get one question. Clear? Section formula. Ma'am, you are understanding? Okay. Section formula. See, section formula is same as what you study in geometry. Section formula, same thing here also in vectors. Same thing here also in vectors. Suppose instead of writing, no need to write down. So see here, vector A and B are divided by a point. Okay, that point, it is dividing it in the ratio m is to n. See, let this be C. Okay, let this be point C. See, this is what vector AB. If I talk about, see here, just listen. If I talk about AB, AB vector. So this is what A means. This is here. It is referring to what? Position vector of A. Position vector of A is always OA. Position vector of B is always OB. Position vector of A will be small a. This will be small b. It is divided by this. What? This C point. It is dividing it in the ratio m is to n. M is to n. M is to n means it will be what? M into what is this? Section formula. mx2 plus nx1 by m plus 1. my2 plus ny1 plus m plus 1. There two coordinates. What is that? Ordinate and also abscissa is there. Here no need to do that. Just m into this vector b. M into vector b plus n into vector a divided by m plus n. Divided by m plus n. But if this point is coming here externally, so same thing it goes, but only thing is minus will come. M into vector b minus n into vector a divided by what? M minus n. M minus n. Is this important? It is important because they have asked a question directly. 2024 TS, they have asked a question directly from this. Okay, just by simple manipulation you will be able to get the answer. They have asked a question from this. Okay, from section formula also. So in vectors, you don't have to worry about x coordinate, y coordinate. Just remember this formula. This is for what? Internal bisection or internal division. This is what? External. That's all. Same thing. This here don't do the mistake. Here it is m minus n. Here it is m minus n. Always this will be what? M into this one, n into this one, cross. Okay, don't forget that. It is dividing it in the ratio m is to n. If it is dividing in the ratio n is to m, it should be, see, m is to n means this is the answer. N is to m, if you think, the answer will be what? N into vector a, n into what is this? N into what is this? If n is there, n is n into vector b plus m into vector a divided by n plus m. So please be careful. So here n is coming means n into vector b, m into vector a. But here it is dividing in the ratio m is to n. So this will be what? M into vector b, n into this one plus. Clear? Now very important, collinear vectors. I am talking about collinear vectors, not collinear points. I am talking about what? Collinear vectors. So vectors lying on the same line or parallel lines are called collinear vectors or parallel vectors. So like I told you, collinear vectors or parallel vectors are one and the same. I am talking about collinear vectors, not the points. So see here, one vector lying another, A, B and B, C. They are all what? Lying on the same line. They are collinear vectors. or if I say vector A, vector B, what happened? Any issue? So vector C. So see here, they are all parallel vectors. If they are parallel, they can be made to come and sit on the same line because they are free vectors. See, vector A, vector B, vector C, they are all free vectors. I can bring them and keep it on this line. A, B, C, this line I can make them place here. So they are what? Collinear and they are parallel vectors. Okay. So all these are what? Collinear and parallel vectors. Now if I say another vector D, vector D is there. Can I make it and keep it here? Can I make it possible to keep it here? No. See, direction is like this, you can move it like this. This direction is like this, you can move it like this. Okay, you cannot rotate like this. The angle you cannot change. Direction, whatever is there, you can use it. Okay, in that direction you move up, you move down. Okay, that is totally possible. But you should not tilt, you should not change the direction. Here the direction is upwards. Okay, but all the vectors, the direction is towards the right. Okay, for me it is left, for you it is right. So all the vectors should be towards that only. Okay, or it should lie in the same line. Suppose I write like this. This is also possible. Why? Because this I can bring it on the same line. Okay, parallel vectors means what? They can be like vectors, unlike vectors. But here the direction is totally different. Okay, it will not come and lie in the same line. If I make it and bring it here, I will get like this, a perpendicular line. Okay, that is why this is not what? The D cannot be what? Collinear or parallel. Understood the difference between parallel or non-parallel vectors? So here we are talking about what? Collinear vectors. So once they say collinear vectors, it is definitely parallel vector also, it is also collinear vector also. So AB or collinear vectors, like I told you, vector A can be written as what? Lambda B. Already I told you, vector A can be written as what? Lambda B, or vector B can be written as what? Lambda times A. Okay, where lambda is a scalar. Okay, vector A, this one, vector B is given collinear vectors. Once they say collinear vectors, listen, once they say collinear vectors or parallel vectors, collinear vectors or parallel vectors, what you can do? This is vector A, this is vector B. Their coefficients, corresponding coefficients are proportional. That is, I can write it as what? A1 by B1 will be equal to A2 by B2 will be equal to what? A3 by B3. Okay. So this you have learned even in polynomials. Okay. If the polynomials are representing parallel lines, how you will use the relation? A1 by B1, A2 by A2, B2 will be equal to A3 by B3. If they are not equal, you will get unique solution. If they are equal, you will get parallel lines, infinite solutions. Correct na? Correct no? So A1 by B1, A2 by B2, A3 by B3. Suppose they say in the question, collinear vectors or parallel vectors, directly you can use this relation. But if they say parallel vectors, you can definitely use this relation as well. Okay, when they say collinear vectors, you should use this relation. Collinear vectors I am talking about, not collinear points. I am talking about what? Collinear vectors. Please remember, here I am discussing about what? The topic is collinear vectors, not collinear points. So collinear vectors, they are what? They are lying on the same line, or parallel vectors. So parallel vectors, what is the condition? This is the condition. And when it comes to collinear vectors, this is the condition you must remember. So once they mention collinear vectors in the question, directly use this relation. You will get the answer that is they were asked. Okay. Next thing, here I am talking about collinearity of 3 points. Here I am not talking about collinear vectors. Here I am talking about what? Collinear points. Getting it, Nikhil? Sirisha, Siri, focusing. So this is what I am talking about: position vector. Position vector A, position vector B, position vector B. See 3 points. A necessary sufficient condition for these points to be collinear is that there exists 3 scalars x, y, z. Okay, not all 0. xa, yb, zc is equal to what? A null vector, such that x plus y plus z is equal to 0. So for, see, just remember, here so much sentence is given, no need to worry about that. All those things no need to by heart or remember. Okay, I will just explain in simple terms with an example. So collinear vectors means what? A1 by B1 is equal to A2 by B2, A3 by B3. That you should remember. Collinear vectors, they are also parallel vectors. For parallel vectors A and B, I can write it as what? A is equal to lambda times B. If it is like vectors, lambda will be what? Lambda will be positive. Unlike, lambda will be negative. Okay. Now when it comes to this, let us take an example. Let us take an example for this. Okay. Now Now look at this. What does this line mean? X into vector A, y into vector B plus z into vector C is equal to 0, null vector, and x plus y plus z is equal to 0. Okay, if they are collinear, this condition should be satisfied. Now I have taken 3 points on a line. These are what? Position vector A, position vector B, position vector C. Okay, A, B and B, C, they are representing the direction. Okay, now if I want to go from A to B, I should write it as what? B minus A. B minus A, that is what? That is nothing but AB. Vector AB is what? B minus A. How? I already told you. AB is nothing but what? Vector B minus vector A. Because this is position vector, I told you. OA, OB. From A to B, if you want to go position vector, you have to come from A to O, O to B. That is what? So this is what? B minus A. Okay, AB is what? B minus A. You want BC. You want BC. This will be what? C minus B. This is what? C minus B. Now, they are what? They are collinear points. That means they are definitely parallel also. So I can write this as what? AB is equal to what? Lambda times BC. AB is equal to lambda times BC. Can I write it or not? I can write it like this. AB is equal to lambda times BC. So, but what is the value of AB? B minus A. Write down B minus A. Now, lambda into BC is what? C minus B. Lambda into C minus B. Okay. B minus A is equal to lambda C minus lambda B. Correct na? Correct till here? Understood? Okay. Now what we will do is I will take everything to the RHS. I will take everything to the RHS, or I want to find just vector A. This vector A I want to find. So this will be equal to what? So vector B minus what is this? Lambda into C plus lambda into B is equal to what? Vector A. Okay. Now B and this lambda into B, I can take lambda, or vector B I can take common. So this will give me what? Vector A will be equal to what is this? 1 plus lambda into vector B. What is this? Minus lambda into vector C. Now everything bring to RHS, not RHS, LHS. So this will be what? Vector A. Okay. Minus 1 plus lambda into vector B minus plus lambda into C will be equal to what? 0. Now observe here, all of you observe now. So if I write this as what? X times vector A, okay, plus y times vector B, okay, plus z times vector C is equal to 0. Now x is what here? X is what? 1. Here y is minus 1 plus lambda. Z is lambda. They are telling x plus y plus z should be equal to 0. So x is what here? 1. X plus y plus z should be equal to 0. Let us check that whether it is coming 0. 1 plus what is this? Minus 1 minus lambda plus lambda. Getting 0. That is what it means. If this condition is satisfied, the 3 points are collinear. 3 points means here we are talking about what? Not collinear vectors, position vectors. So whenever we talk about a point, it is what? A collinear vector. It is what? A collinear vector. See, if I talk about a point, we don't know the magnitude and we don't know the direction. It can be any direction. Okay, it can be moving into itself. Okay, like I told, A is inverse of A in binomial theorem, like that. Okay, so this is what? This is position vector. So collinearity of 3 points means you have to know this condition. Collinearity of 3 vectors means you should know the previous condition. Clear? You just know this condition, you will be able to solve the question and you will be sorted. Clear? Please write this down, these 2 points, that is enough. Just write collinearity of 3 points, write these 2 lines, that's enough. This is what? This is nothing but AB is equal to M times AC, that is nothing but what? Vector A is equal to lambda times vector B, same thing. They have written it in different words, that's all. Understanding, Vinay? Sushan? Getting it? Okay. Sharan? Harsha? Sai, Nishit? Nikhil? Now we will be studying about coplanar vectors. That means the vectors are lying on the same plane. Now observe here. My question is, now listen, now my question is, are these vectors A, B, C, definitely they are coplanar, they are lying on the same plane. I am asking about vector D and D, are they coplanar or not? Are they coplanar or not? See, first of all you should know they are what? Free vectors. So definitely I can bring them here. If I want to bring them here, this vector should be parallel to this line and this vector should be parallel to this line. So I can bring them here, definitely they are coplanar. Definitely they can be coming inside. Okay. And how to know whether they are fitting it in or not? See, we have a perpendicular, that is normal if you draw. So whatever you are bringing it here should be perpendicular to this one. Whatever you are bringing here should be perpendicular to this one, the normal. Okay. So that is why this is what? These are all coplanar. Suppose here if I write another vector like this, this cannot be coplanar. Okay. If I bring it here, this will definitely not be parallel to this line. This will not be parallel to the plane. It will be perpendicular to the plane. So this is not coplanar. Even though they are not on the plane, you can bring it inside the plane. That is known as what? Coplanar vectors. Okay, this because this is what? Free vectors. That is what I told you in the beginning. Same thing what goes for collinearity, same thing here also. So three vectors ABC are coplanar if there exists scalar not all 0. So only thing you have to remember is this one. XA, YB, ZC is equal to null vector. That is, if you do this, you should get the value as null vector. Here you don't have to worry about x plus y plus z is equal to 0. Suppose we have if it is like this, you can definitely write a capital vector C, so that we are having x times A plus y times B. This condition you can write down. This condition you can write down. Getting it side the see, listen. If vector A, vector B are coplanar, listen carefully. If vector A, vector B, vector C are coplanar, listen, coplanar, or even if they are collinear, suppose vector A is written as A1, A2, A3, ijk, vector B is written as what? B1, B2, B3, ijk, C is written as what? C1, C2, C3, ijk. A, B, C are coplanar collinear means what you can write is determinant of A is what? This is A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3 is equal to 0. Okay, this is the condition you must know. If they are given they are coplanar or collinear, directly you can write what? Determinant of those vectors will be equal to 0. But it is not the other way around. Just because you get determinant is equal to 0, you cannot say they are collinear or coplanar. Converse is not true. Converse is not true. But if they are coplanar or collinear, determinant will be equal to 0. This is the condition you must know. Determinant will be equal to what? 0. Clear? Understanding Neha, Sahiti, Ritika, you have to be awake all of you. So this will be what? Determinant will be equal to 0. Getting it, Gayatri? So what I am telling, if it is collinear or coplanar, Harsha, we can take determinant is equal to 0. But if determinant is equal to 0, we cannot take their collinear or coplanar. It's not the other way around. Getting it now? So if it is Sunday, they will give chicken. Just because they should give chicken someday, that doesn't become Sunday. Understood now? This is that way. Clear? So linearly dependent. What is this linearly dependent? No need to go through all this. If the vectors are coplanar or collinear, they are linearly dependent. They are what? Linearly dependent. Same condition what they have given. Okay, if the vectors are mainly you can take coplanar, they are linearly dependent. If they are non-coplanar, they are linearly independent. They are linearly independent. What do you mean by that? So if they are linearly dependent, the determinant will be equal to 0. Why it is 0? If they are linearly dependent, they are coplanar. If they are coplanar, determinant is equal to 0. Okay, determinant is equal to 0. Now when it comes to this one, linearly independent, so the vectors are not coplanar, non-coplanar. If they are non-coplanar, what will happen? They are linearly independent. When they are linearly independent, delta will be not equal to 0. Delta will be not equal to 0. Okay, delta will be not equal to 0. See, when I say vector A, vector B, vector C, while writing the determinant, first row should be vector A, second row should be vector B, third row should be vector C. That order only should come. If I say vector B, vector A, vector C, first row should be vector B. That order of the row is very important. You cannot write the way you want. So based on the order they have given, you should write the row. First vector first row, second vector second row, third vector third row. That you should know. So clearly understand now. Collinear or coplanar. If it is collinear, you can write A1 by B1, A2 by B2, A3 by B3. If it is parallel also. Collinear, coplanar, you can write determinant of the vector is equal to 0. If it is coplanar, we call them as what? They are linearly dependent. Linearly dependent. Clear? Coplanar, they are also called linearly dependent. So if they are coplanar and linearly dependent, you can write that determinant is equal to 0, but not the other way around. If it is not coplanar, they are not linearly dependent. If they are not dependent, they are independent. Then determinant is not equal to 0. You have to remember this condition. Clear? So see here, if delta, that is what? Determinant is not equal to 0, then they are linearly independent. If it is equal to 0, they are linearly dependent. Linearly dependent means coplanar. This is non-coplanar. This is non-coplanar. Please write these two lines. This is very important. Write down these two lines. Understanding everyone? More of theory, but it's important that you know this because questions are coming from here. Okay, done? Okay. Very important, see here, vector equation of a line. From here you will get one question. Vector equation of a line or vector equation of a plane. One is vector equation of a line, another one is vector equation of a plane. What does it mean? So, vector equation of a line parallel to the vector B and passing through the point A with position vector A is, this is what is given. So, what does it mean? So, how do we represent it? Suppose this is a vector passing through this position vector A, that is A of vector A, and parallel to another vector B, and it is parallel to another vector B. So, the vector equation of a line is represented by another vector, that is vector R. So, that is equal to what? We are having vector A as it is, position vector you will write it as it is. So, you will write what? Vector A plus t times vector B. This t is what? Some real number. T is some constant, it is some real number. So, this is the vector equation of a line. So, this is what? Vector equation of line passing through a position vector, single position vector. If it is passing through a single position vector, what you will write? Vector and parallel to vector B, you will write it as what? R is equal to A plus t times vector B. R is equal to A plus t times vector B. Clear? R is equal to t plus A times A plus t times vector B. Now, if I am saying there is vector position vector A and position vector B and is parallel to normal free vector B. This is what? Position vector A, position vector, don't get confused with this. Position vector A, position vector B passing through two position vector. Initial case is what we are talking about, it is passing through one position vector. Now it is passing through two position vector and parallel to another vector. That time the relation will be r is equal to, you should write what, vector a plus t times vector b, but here you will write what, 1 minus t, that's all. Earlier you will writing what, a t times vector b. For what? If it is passing through single position vector. Now it is passing through two position vector, you will write what, a plus t times vector b only, but here you will write what, 1 minus t. Okay, the coefficient of a will become what, 1 minus t. How you don't have to know, I can explain, but that is not at all required for you. Okay, that is not required for you. So 1 minus t is what, vector a plus t times vector b. Okay, 1 minus t into vector a into t times vector b. For what? See, this is for what, equation of a line passing through single position vector and parallel to another vector. This is equation of a line passing through two position vector and parallel to another vector. That time 1 minus t will come. That time 1 minus t will come. Now next part comes is position vector of a plane or equation of vector of a plane, that we will discuss. Understood? You have to write down this figure and this one, you have to write down this figure and this one, not anything of this. No need to write all of this, not required at all. Now vector equation of a plane. Vector equation of a plane. Vector equation of a plane passing through a point and parallel to non-collinear vectors b and c is, okay, so vector equation, this is the plane, let us take this as a plane. So this is position vector a, okay, this is vector b, this is vector c, this is vector b and vector c. So equation, vector equation of a what, passing through a position vector and parallel to vector b and vector c, but they are not collinear. This vector b and vector c, are they collinear, Siri? Are they collinear? They are not collinear. See, this is in this direction and this is in this direction. For this, what is the vector equation if they ask? Just simply write r is equal to, what is it, a plus t times b plus, since another is coming, you should write s times c. Okay. R is equal to, here they have written s, no need to worry. You can write t here, you can write s here, doesn't matter for us. So where t comma s belongs to real numbers, t comma s belongs to real numbers. See, first thing what we studied, a position vector it passes and parallel to another vector. Next thing, it passes through two position vectors. For that, what is the equation? R is equal to a plus tb. Next is what, it is passing through two position vectors and parallel to another vector. What you will write? R is equal to 1 minus t a plus tb. Next is what, we are talking about a plane. It passes through a position vector, passes through a plane and parallel to two vectors, vector b and vector c, but this vector b and vector c are not parallel to each other, they are not collinear to each other. They are not collinear to each other. That time what you will write? R is equal to a plus tb plus sc. Okay, when they give a question like this, a vector, some vector they will give I, j, k, something like this. Okay, they are parallel to, it is parallel to vector b and vector c. But vector b and vector c, they themselves are not parallel or not collinear. That time what is the condition? You will use this condition. Use this condition. Clear? Done? Okay, here we have one more, two more. Vector equation of a plane passing through the points a, b and parallel to c. Okay, now they are telling what, it is not just one position vector, now the plane is passing through two position vectors. It is passing through two position vectors and it is parallel to vector c, and it is parallel to vector c. So what you will do at that time, see, this is the plane, okay, this is the plane. If you take, this is vector a, this is vector b, and it is parallel to vector c. If this is the case, what you will do is, r is equal to, what you will write, a plus, what you will write, tb plus s into c. Same thing you will write. If you are writing tb here, here you should write what, 1 minus t, 1 minus t, 1 minus t. What is with t, that you should write, okay, 1 minus t. Okay, for what it is parallel to c means, see here, observe very carefully, it is parallel to what, c. It is parallel to c means c is represented by what, s. So you should write what? Not 1 minus t, you should write what? 1 minus s. You should write what? 1 minus s. Clear? Not 1 minus s, it should be 1 minus t only. 1 minus t is correct. See, just write 1 minus t. See, what is it be, that only you write 1 minus t, that's all. No need to get confused. Next thing, vector equation of a plane passing through 3 non-collinear points, okay, is, see, it is vector equation of a plane passing through 3 non-collinear points. That means what? Here there is vector A, here there is vector B, and here there is vector C. Within the plane only it is there. First thing is what? One position vector and parallel to 2 vectors, but they are not parallel to each other. That is one thing, that is the first thing. Next thing is what? Passing through 2 position vectors and parallel to another vector. That is what we will get here. Here it is passing through 3 non-collinear vectors. That time it will become what? R is equal to, you will write A plus TB, okay, then what is it? SC. Here you will write what? You should write 1 minus t, but here you should write 1 minus t minus s. 1 minus t minus s. 1 minus t minus s times A. That's all. Okay, understood? So here 3 conditions, there 2 conditions, that's all. When it comes to what? Vector equation of a line. But where to use what, you must know. So see here, if you talk about passing through a single position vector and parallel to another vector, you will write it as what? A plus 2b. Passing through 2 position vectors and parallel to another vector, you will write what? A plus tb only, but for A what you will do? 1 minus t. Now see here, passing through a plane passing through, this is not just a vector, a plane passing through a position vector and parallel to vector B and parallel to vector C, but these 2 vectors are not collinear. That time you will write what? R is equal to A plus TB plus SC. Next, it is passing through 2 position vectors and parallel to 1 vector, you will write what? R is equal to A plus TB plus SC, but for this one you will write what? 1 minus t. 3 non-collinear vectors, you will write what? 1 minus s minus t minus s, A plus TB plus SC, that's all. So 5 lines, I mean 5 equations you must know. When to use what, you must know, not just remember, you must know when to use what. Clear? Understood? One is what? Position vector and parallel to a vector. Another one is what? 2 position vectors and parallel to a vector. This is when it comes to equation of vector equation of a line. Now next is what? Vector equation of a plane. So it is passing through the plane parallel to one vector and parallel to another vector, but these 2 vectors are not collinear. Okay, that is one thing, condition. Next condition is what? Passing through 2 position vectors, just like the second condition of a line, and parallel to another vector. Next is what? Passing through what? 3 non-collinear vectors. Clear? Okay. Before we go to hexagon, just a minute, before we go to hexagon, let us take up one question. Okay. So see here, look at this question, all of you, please focus. ABC are non-coplanar vectors. ABC are non-coplanar vectors. Listen carefully, read the question. ABC are non-coplanar vectors. If the 3 points, these 3 points, this is, let this be point A, A, B and C are collinear, then lambda is equal to what? Then lambda is equal to what? They are telling they are collinear. Forget about this, they are non-coplanar vectors, okay, fine. If the 3 points, what are the points? These are the points they have given. They are collinear, then lambda is equal to what? If they are collinear, what is the condition we can use? What is that? What we should use? What is that A1, B1? What is that? I told you determinant should be equal to 0. Use the determinant equal to 0. You can find the answer that way, or you can take this AB, or I can write this as what? I can write it like this. AB is equal to K times BC, you can write it. AB is equal to K times BC, or you can use det is equal to 0. That is what your first one, see here, coefficient of this one, lambda minus 2 and 1, that's just 1. This will be what? 2 lambda minus 2.
4, 7 minus 8.
So for this we have to find the determinant. If you equate it to 0, you will get the value of lambda. So find the determinant for this. This will be what? Lambda into what is this? Minus 8 lambda minus 8 lambda two it's a minus 8, 2 it's a minus 16, 4 is a 8. What is this? So what is the value of lambda you will get? Did you find out? So this will be what? Minus 8 lambda square plus 14 lambda, this should be equal to 0, plus 14 lambda, what is this? Minus minus 16 plus 14 minus 4 lambda is equal to 0. Now minus 8 lambda square, what about lambda? 14 lambda minus 4 lambda is what? 10 lambda. This is what? Minus 2 is equal to 0. I can add this as what? 8 lambda square minus 10 lambda plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, now I can solve this quadratic equation. So first let me divide by 2. So 4 lambda square minus 5 lambda plus 1 is equal to 0. The factors will be what? Minus 4. What is that? What are the factors we will have? Minus 4 lambda minus lambda plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. So we will have what? Lambda minus 4, lambda minus 1. So this will be suitable for us. Lambda minus 1, we will get it as what? Equal to 0. Lambda minus 1 will be equal to 0. Lambda minus 4 also you can take, but it is not in the option. So lambda minus 1 is equal to 0. Lambda value will be equal to what? 1, fourth option. Understood? So when they say collinear, directly find what? See, this is little calculative, I understand, but this concept is simple. What you have to do? Determinant is equal to 0 and you will get the value of lambda. And you will get the value of lambda. Understood? How? Straight away from just simple concept you are getting a question. When they say collinear, see, looking at this, don't get panicked. They are telling non-planar. Okay, let them say A, B, C are non-coplanar vectors. Have they told this as A, B, C? No. Okay, A, B, C are non-coplanar vectors. If the 3 points, these points are collinear, they are asking lambda. So lambda is related to these points, not A, B, C. So these points are collinear, means you should take determinant is equal to 0. So forget about this line. Okay, clear? Understood? Okay. So this value will be equal to what? Lambda will be equal to 1 plus 1. Clear? Some more questions. Look at this question. All of you please try this question. All of you please try this question. 3 position vectors are given of points A, B, C respectively. Then A, B, C, they are asking, it can be collinear points, form an isosceles triangle which is not equilateral, form an equilateral triangle, form a scalene triangle. First tell me the approach. What should be the approach? What should be the approach? Magnitude. Shravanti is telling magnitude. Sushant, what should be the approach? Vinay, what should be the approach? What we should do? Sharan. Gayatri, what should be the approach? What we have to do? Determinant. But they have not told anything, no? They have not told they are collinear. Okay. All of you find the determinant. All of you find the determinant. All of you find the determinant, I will tell you. Find the determinant. Let me know how you are finding determinant. All of you please find the determinant. Okay, Sharan. Welcome. Okay. Yeah. చేయండి. You are getting 0? That means you know how to find the determinant. That's all I told you to find determinant, because I want to know whether you are not to find determinant or not. If you are getting 0, that's good, but that is not the approach. Okay, if determinant is 0, what you can do? What is the option? Collinear points, but that is absolutely wrong. Okay, because if they are collinear, determinant will be equal to 0. If determinant is equal to 0, they are not collinear. Converse is not true. So I know, that's why they gave this question. What you will do? Determinant, you will find it is equal to 0, you will go for collinear. What I told you, if it is collinear, then determinant is equal to 0. If determinant is equal to 0, it is not collinear. It is not the other way around. Okay, got it? So this confusion you have to avoid. Okay, if they have only told collinear or coplanar, then take determinant is equal to 0. If they are not told anything, okay, you don't assume that determinant is equal to 0, or you don't find determinant is equal to 0. Even if you get determinant is equal to 0, they are not collinear. Okay, understood? So for this, what you have to do is, you have to find the distances. How will you find here? See here, let us take this as points A, B, C. Okay. Just listen how to find. Just look at this, observe first, then you can write down. Please observe how to find out point A. So this is what I, j, k is given. What are the coefficients? This will be 1, minus 2, 3. This way it will be easy to find instead of using vectors. So this will be what? 2, 3, minus 1. So this will be what? Minus 3, minus 1, minus 2. Correct? Okay. Now I want to find AB. Apply the distance formula. So 1 minus 2, that is what? Minus 1 square will be 1. Okay. 3 minus of minus 2 is plus 5. 5 square will be 25. 25 plus, what is this? 16. So we will have what here? 1 plus 25 plus 16. That will be equal to root 42. Root 42 here. Now look at this. Minus 3. This will be what? 5 square. This is what? 4 square. This will be plus 1 square. So this will also be what? Root 42. This one. Minus 3 minus 1. Root 16. Plus 1. This will be what? Again this will also be root 42. So we will get what? Equilateral triangle. So the answer will be what? Form an equilateral triangle. Don't go with this option. If they say collinear, then only determinant is equal to 0. If determinant is equal to 0, you cannot say they are collinear. Okay, it is not the other way around. If collinear means determinant is equal to 0, that's all you keep it in mind. Okay, once they mention collinear, directly find determinant. Directly equate determinant to 0. Clear? Understood this question how to solve? Got it now? Okay, simple. One more. This one. Please look at this. All of you please observe this question. If A, B, C, D are position vectors of 4 points such that this is equal to 0, then the ratio in which the line joining C and D divides the line segment joining A and B. What is the concept here? From which concept they have asked the question? Huh? Vectors are? Section formula. Okay. So how to solve this question? Have they given two vectors separately? No. Then how to solve this? They are telling then the ratio in which the line joining C and D, okay, let this be line joining C and D, divides the line joining segment joining A and B. So they are asking this ratio, A and B ratio, how much it is dividing this CD, that is, let this be M, let this be N. They are asking M and N. They are asking M is to N. They are asking M is to N. So this CD is dividing this line segment AB. They are asking the M is to N ratio. They are not asking, suppose Mn, let this be OP. They are not asking OP ratio, they are asking M is to N ratio, keep this in mind. But what they have given? They have given us only this thing, 2A plus 3B plus 5C minus 10D is equal to what? Null vector 0. I will take it as 0 only. They are asking A and B in terms of C and D, that is how much will A and B get divided by whom? By C and D. So what I will do, what I can do, the C and D can I send it to RHS? Let us send to RHS and see, just by simple manipulation you can get it. So this will be what? 2 times A plus 3 times B. If I take it to RHS, what will this become, Vinay? Minus 5C plus 10D. Okay, good. Plus 10D. Okay. Now, minus 5C. Who is this? Small kid. This is what we are having. So 2A plus 3B, this is what, minus 5C plus 10D. This is what we are having. Further, what we can do? What we can do here further? Okay, if I take 5 common here, so if I take 5 common here, this will be what? Minus C plus 2D. Okay, this will be what? 2A plus 3B. This 5 I can bring it here down. Observe carefully. See here, 2A plus 3B. Please observe, all of you. Divided by, I should write what? 5. Okay, 5. You have to listen here. This will be 5. This will be equal to what? Minus C plus 2D. Minus C plus 2B. So this 5 can be written as what? 2 plus 3. Or I can write it as 3 plus 2, whatever it is. I can write it like this. This one, what I can write it? Minus 1 plus 2. Here nothing is there, means it is 1. So here what is the coefficient? Minus 1. Here it is what? 2. So minus 1 plus 2, what is the value? Minus 1 plus 2 is what? 1. Here what we are having? 1 only. So instead of that I can write minus 1 plus 2. So this is of what form now? These are what form? See here, observe here carefully. If I ask the formula for this, what you will tell me? Just tell me the formula for this, section formula for this. M plus N. Now compare this with this one. M is 3. N is what? 2. So M is to N ratio means what? What is the ratio? 3 is to 2. Don't get confused. It is what? 3 is to 2. So this should come first and then this. So the answer will be what? 3 is to 2. Why I am taking only this? Because they are asking the ratio for A is to B. That is for the line segment AB. So the answer will be what? 3 is to 2. Suppose they are asking the ratio for this one, P and O, this one. So that will become what? PD plus OC, correct na? PD plus OC. Okay, PD plus OC. What is the value of P here? 2. This is what? Minus 1. What is the ratio? 2 is to minus 1. That is not in the option. Anyways, they have not even asked also. They have asked the ratio of what? A to B. So the answer is what? M is to N. Write the formula, compare it. Even if you don't write down, you can get it. Because first B will come in the formula. Then A will come. So this will be what? 3 is to 2. Anything difficult here? Nothing. So if they give such a question again, you should be able to do. Srinidhi understanding? Bhavani? Getting it? Siri? Sahitis? Ritika? Sharan? Harsha? Vinay? Sushant? Sai Nishit? So this is what? Just basic what? Section formula. But they have not given directly 2 vectors. They have given it in the form of an equation. You have to bring it to the form of 2 vectors, that is AB one side and CD one side, and then manipulate it here so that you get in the form of section formula, and then you will get what? M is to N. Okay, it is not like directly apply the section formula and get it. It is like you have to bring it to the form of the formula. So the answer will be what? M is to N. So that is what? 3 is to 2. So fourth option is the right answer. Clear? Got it everyone? Okay. What happened? Okay, now let us go back to the concepts. I hope the questions are relatable now to the concept, how they are asking. So collinear means determinant is 0, coplanar means determinant is equal to 0, not the other way around. If determinant is equal to 0, you cannot say that they are collinear or coplanar. Okay, you cannot say like that. Okay. Regular hexagon, let this be A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. Regular hexagon means all the sides will be equal. Okay. Now observe carefully. Here vector A is there, vector B is there. Okay. So for vector B, what are the parallel lines that we have for vector B? For this vector B, what is parallel here? Let this be O. See, this is also parallel. This is also parallel. If this is parallel means this is also parallel. Correct now? See, this is parallel means this is also parallel. I am asking parallel. So this is parallel. For this is also parallel. Correct now? What else is parallel to vector B? What else is parallel? That's all, no? Now, if this length is B, this length will also be B, because all are same length here. Okay, this one for A, what is parallel? This is parallel, and this will also be parallel. Correct or not? Yes or no? And what about this parallel vector? And this is B means this will also be B. Okay. What else length is left? Is OB. What else length is left? D. This OB and OE. What is the length? This will be B. See, observe here carefully. Here, this is O. This is O. Okay. This vector is moving like this means this parallel vector, this will also move like this, and this is moving like this. If I want OB, what I should do? If I want OB, I should do what? This I should bring it here, and then I should go here. If I want OB means I should start from O to A, then A to B. O to A means what? This is B is reverse, so this will become what? Minus B. So this will become what? A minus B. Correct or not? Just observe all of you. This will become what? A minus B. Correct or not? Understanding? Or instead of asking OB, if I ask BO, if I want BO, this will become what? B to A to O. Then this will become what? B minus A. BO, I am asking this BO. BO will be what? B minus A. This is B minus A means this is B minus A. So then what about this one? This will not be vector B, this will also be B minus A. Okay, parallel to this. Parallel to this means this will also be B minus A, and definitely this will also be B minus A. See here, this is the vector, we got B minus A. I am taking like this BO. Observe carefully, I am taking like this BO. Okay, BO I got it as what? B minus A. For BO, parallel is this what? CD. This will also be B minus A. Now, if I am taking like this, now I have to look about this one. Okay, so see here, this will be, this one see here, we got this one like this. This will be B means this will also be B. This is correct. This will also be B. Now, everything else is correct. Now, look at this. If vector AB is equal to A, vector BC is equal to B, then AC. They are talking about AC. Okay, AC is equal to what? AB plus BC. See, if in the figure only everything is there. So, AC if you want, AB plus BC. AB plus BC is what? A plus B. AD. See here AD. AD means what? A to D. A to D is what? Vector B plus vector B. That is what? 2 times vector B. See, 2 times BC. See, AD is what? 2 times BC. BC is what here? See this BC length 2 times if you do, you will get AD. So that is nothing but what? Vector B plus vector B, that is 2 times vector B. Clear? How I am getting? Understood? CD. Where is CD here? So CD here, if you are getting B minus A, CD will also B minus A. I told you. What we got in the figure, same thing we have got here. Now DE. So they are asking DE. Where is D? D is here. So if you are going from D to E, if you are going like this, okay. So if I am taking A to B is A, D to E will be minus A. If you are going like this means it will become minus A. That is correct. Why? Because A to B is like this. A is going in this direction, positive A. If you are going from D to E, minus A. If it is ED, plus A. Okay, that is fine. EF. EF is what here? EF. So see here, EF will be minus B. Why? Because BC is going like this. BC is this direction. EF will be this direction. So magnitude will be B only, but direction will change means this will be minus B. That is correct. FA. FA is equal to what? Where is FA? FA is equal to FA we should take it as A minus B. See, FA we should take it as A minus B. Here also we should apply triangle only. FA we should take it as what? A minus B. Okay, FA will be minus CD. FA will be, see here, this is going, because this and this are parallel. See this one and this one are parallel. Here we have done a mistake. CD is like this, but FA is coming like this. So this will be same as B minus A. Let me write it as B minus A only. Parallel to this, let me write it as B minus A only. If this is what? AF. But it is FA, negative sign. Understood? From the figure, understood how to get everything? So if they ask any question, you will be able to solve it. Now, if they give, if O is the center of the hexagon, okay, if you add all of this, you will get 3 times AD or 6 times AO. How it is? So AB is what here? AB, what is the value? A. AC, what is the value you got? AC, what is the value you got? A plus B. AD, what is the value? I am asking you people. AD, what is the value? 2B. Okay. So 2B. AE, what is the value? AE. AE, what is the value? See, AE, what is the value? AE means you have to go from what? So you have to go like this, na? This one. So you have to go like this, means minus A plus B. See, if you want to go to AE, if you want to get AE, what you should do? Should go like this and then like this. So minus A, B minus A plus B minus A plus B. Correct, na? B minus A plus B it is. B is going like this, so it will be plus B. Okay. What about AF? AF will be what? B minus A. AF will be what? B minus A. FA will be minus B, minus of B minus A. AF will be B minus A. Now see what I can cancel. A minus A. Okay. A minus A. B plus 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, 6B. I am getting what? 6B. 6B. 6B is equal to what? B is nothing but equal to what? AO. See here, AO value is B. AO value is B. So AO value is B means 6B means I can write it as what? 6 times AO. Okay. But AO is half times AD. AO is half of AD. So AO is, see this AO. See here, this AO is half of AD. AD is this full length. This AO is half of this. So AO can be written as what? 6 times AO can be written as what? Half of AD. So this will cancel. We'll get it as what? 3 times AD. Okay. So in a regular hexagon, if they give, this length will be equal to what? 6 times the length of B. Okay. AO will be equal to what? 6B. So if you add all of this, you will get 6 times of this. 6 times AO will be equal to what? This will be, sum of all of this will be equal to what? 6 times AO. That will be equal to what? 3 times AD. Okay, understood? You have to take it cyclical. AB is anti-cyclic. That is cyclical in the sense anti-clockwise. Vaishnavi, understanding? So you have to click anti-clockwise AB like this. So 6 times AO will be equal to 3 times AD. What is that? Sum of all of this. If you add all the sides, if you add all the sides of this, what you will get is 6 times AO is equal to 3 times AD. Clear? Got it? This is the relation you must remember. AB, BC, okay, AD, all these things. Clear? Got it everyone? Next one. Triple products. Why it went to triple product? Where is dot product? So now we will study about dot product. So till now what is the thing that we studied? The previous topic, what is that? Regular hexagon. Okay, regular hexagon. So we started with what is vector and scalar, and in vectors we studied what is coplanar, what is collinear, correct? So if it is coplanar and collinear, determinant should be equal to 0. So then also we studied parallel vectors, like vectors, unlike vectors. So vector A and vector B are parallel, means we can write it as what? I am just summarizing. So A can be written as lambda times B, or B can be written as lambda times A. Lambda should be positive if it is like vector, and lambda should be negative if it is unlike vectors. Then we studied coplanar. Okay, in coplanar what we will take, there also determinant should be equal to 0. If it is coplanar or collinear, okay, they are called what? What they are called as? Linearly dependent. Then determinant will be equal to 0. If they are not coplanar, they are linearly independent, determinant will not be equal to 0. Okay. Then what did we study? I told about unit vector, correct na? A cap is equal to A by modulus of A, magnitude of A. Clear? Then vector equation of a line. When it comes to line, two condition, one is single position vector, then two position vectors. Then vector equation of a plane, three conditions. One is single position vector parallel to other two vectors, but those two vectors are not parallel. Next is two position vectors parallel to another. Then what is it? Three non-collinear vectors. Okay, non-collinear position vectors. Clear? Then section formula. Okay, and then we solve some questions. Now come back to the topic, regular hexagon we are done. Now we have to study the topic of what is that? Dot product, highly important. Okay, so two vectors, vector A and vector B are given. Then the scalar product or dot product of A and B is denoted by A dot B. That is why it is called dot product. Scalar product or dot product, it is one and the same, is defined by A dot B is what? Magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta. Okay, suppose see here we are having vector A, vector B like this. So this is the angle theta. The dot product A dot B is given as what? Magnitude of A, magnitude of B into cos theta. This is highly useful to find out the angle between two vectors. To find out the angle between two vectors, what will be using? Dot product. So cos theta is equal to what? What is it? A dot B divided by magnitude of A into magnitude of B. So this, why they will use this dot product? To find the angle between two vectors. Mainly we will use cos theta is equal to what? Vector A into vector B divided by magnitude of A into magnitude of B. Clear? So that is the reason we will be using what? Highly useful to find what? To find the angle between two vectors. Clear? Now suppose I, J, K are unit vectors, that is they are lying on the what is that? Coordinate axis I, J, K, and they are perpendicular to each other, orthogonal vertices. Okay, then magnitude of I or magnitude of J or magnitude of K, this you know, you would have studied for your boards, will be equal to 1 I into J, that is what? This should be pi by 2. This is the coordinate axis I into I dot J or J dot K or K dot I will be equal to what? Pi by 2. That is angle between them will be 90 degree. See, this angle is what? 90, 90, 90. Angle between them I, J, K. I, J, K, this will be what? 90 degree. And also I into I, J into J, K into K will be, K dot K will be equal to what? 1. Dot, when it is cross, 0. See, I cross I will be equal to 0. I dot I will be equal to what? 1. See, dot product of same thing, that is I dot I, J dot J, K dot K will be equal to 1. But I dot J, that is what? It is perpendicular, because cos 90 is what? Cos 90 is what? 0. Here I dot I means they are parallel. They are parallel. Parallel means the angle will be 0. Cos 0 is what? 1. Cos 0 is what? 1. See, magnitude is 1 here. Okay, I into I means they are parallel. I into I means I dot I. I dot I means they are parallel. If they are parallel, I dot I will be equal to 1. See, I dot J means they are Perpendicular. Perpendicular means I dot j cos theta cos 90 will be equal to what? 0. So this will be 0. Understood? But when I say the same thing when it comes to cross product, there it will be reverse. I cross j, there it is sin 90, sin 90 will be 1. I cross I cross I, sin 0 will be 0. Okay, so dot product, parallel or collinear, dot product parallel or collinear, that is theta will be equal to what? 0 degree. So I dot I, or I can write A dot B will be equal to what? What is that? A dot B, if I take it, this will be equal to 0, because the value of what? Cos 0 will be equal to not 0, this will be equal to 1. This will be equal to 1. Now perpendicular theta will be equal to what? 90 degree. Theta will be equal to what? 90 degree. What you will do? A dot B will be equal to what? 0, because cos 90 is 0. Suppose two vectors are given A and B. A is given as A1, A2, A3 along with that coordinate axis I, J, K, and B is given as B1, B2, B3. Focusing Bhavani, Navneeta, Sirisha, Neha, understanding, Siri. So if they give like this, if you want to find A dot B, what you will do? The corresponding axis values, that is coefficients A1, B1, A2, B2, A3, B3. Okay, understood how to find dot product? So this you will multiply A1, B1, A2, B2, A3, B3. A dot A means what? So there is, here we are having A1 only, that means what? A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square. A dot A means we can also write it as what? Modulus of A square, that is same thing as A into A. Okay, getting it? A dot A. So A dot A we will get it as like this, but if they give A cross A, the value will be equal to what? 0. A dot A it is what? We will get it like this, we will definitely get a value. If it is unit vector, we will get it as equal to 1, but if it is A cross A, the value will be equal to what? 0. A dot B, the value will be equal to 1. Okay, if theta is equal to 0 degree. A dot B will be equal to 0 if theta is equal to 90 degree. But when it comes to cross product, this will be reverse. This you remember. Okay, this is dot product. Clear? Now, if they ask you to find the value of theta, angle between two vectors, if they ask angle between two vectors, what you will do? Cos theta is equal to what is that? A dot B by mod A mod B. Correct na? Mod A mod B. A dot B means what you will write? This is what you will write na? What is that? This is what you will write na? A1 B1 plus A2 B2 A3 B3. Correct na? See, this and this, this and this, and this and this you will multiply and keep it and add it. Divided by magnitude of A means what? That is square root of A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square. Magnitude of B means what? Square root of B1 square plus B2 square plus B3 square. Correct na? That is what you will have. So that is the value of angle cos theta. That is what is given here. The big formula. That is what I wrote. From here you can get it. So this will be equal to this. This denominator will be equal to numerator when cos theta will be value will be equal to 1. That is nothing but when theta is equal to 0. Correct na? If this is 1, I can send it here. If theta, let AB is equal to theta. If theta is less than 90 degree, if theta is less than 90 degree, that is if theta is acute angle, then the dot product will be greater than 0. The dot product will be positive. If theta is obtuse angle, that is above 90 degree, the dot product will be negative. This is also important. Make a note of it. If theta is acute, the dot product will be positive. If theta is above 90 degree, the dot product will be what? The dot product will be negative. The dot product will be negative. If theta is equal to 90 degree, the dot product will be 0. A is perpendicular. If theta is equal to 0 degree, the dot product will be equal to what? 1. Correct now? If theta is equal to 0 degree, the dot product will be equal to what? 1. Understood? So theta is less than 90 degree, the dot product is positive. If greater than 90 degree, the dot product is negative. Clear? Understood? This is important because this will help you to eliminate the options. While solving the question, out of 4 options, at least 2 options you can eliminate if you know these concepts. Okay, clear? By looking at this, if theta is less than 90 degree, the dot product, if in the option you have negative thing, means you can eliminate that. Okay? In the end, if you don't have time to solve the question, these things will help you. Okay, you can go with either of the two options instead of looking for 4 options. The probability of getting correct will be 50%, not 25%, unlike. Clear, getting it? Srindi, Siri, Sahiti, focusing, understanding? Okay. Teju Reddy. Now write down the heading, projection vector or component vector. Projection vector or component vector. Please write down the heading. Okay, look at this. So what do you mean by this? You have already learnt what is projection, all these things. So what is meant by projection vector and projection? See, there are two things you have to know. One is component vector, projection vector, there is nothing but the same. But you have to know what is component or what is projection, what is component vector and what is just component. So first see here, suppose they are asking what component vector of A on B. A on B means, first suppose there is vector B. There is vector B here, there is vector A here. Vector A here. Now, if I want the shadow, if I project this on here, I will get it like this. Correct na? I will get it like this. Now this length of A, this is called as what? Component of A on B. What is that? Observe here, focus. See, the shadow of A that falls on B, the shadow of A that falls on B, we call it as what? We call it as component of A on B. Not component vector. The component of A and B is nothing but same as projection of A on B. See, different words. Projection or component are nothing but the same. Okay, component of A on B or projection of A on B. I am not using the word vector. So component of A on B or projection of A on B, if they ask, what is the answer you should write? See, A on B they are telling. A on B. Okay, A on B means you should write what? A dot B by, what is that we should write? A on B. Understood? Understood this one? A on B. This is what? Component. Component of A on B. Component of A on B. This is what? Component of A on B. Component of A and B means when A falls on B, what is the length? Component means we are just finding the magnitude here. Component of A on B. I am not using the word vector. Now same thing, observe carefully. Component of A on B or projection of A on B, same, one and the same. One and the same. Projection or component of A on B. You have to focus, Ritika. Projection or component of A on B. This is what we will get. Now I will use the word component vector or projection vector. Projection vector of A on B. Now here I want the direction also. Earlier I was finding only the magnitude, I am finding the direction also, along with direction. So projection vector or component vector, write down the same thing as it is. We will write what? A dot B divided by modulus of B, but here you will multiply this entire thing by what? By B cap. You will multiply by what? B cap. What is in the denominator? That you will multiply, that is B cap, that is unit vector B. Okay, you will multiply by B cap. So what is the value of B cap? First tell me. What is the value of B cap? B by B vector by modulus of B. B cap means what? B vector by modulus of B. Okay, that if I put it here, what I'll get? A dot B into B vector by modulus of B into modulus of B. I can write what? Modulus of B whole square. That is what is the formula. It is here. That is how you are getting. Okay, you don't have to by heart this. Now you understood? A on B means B should come in the denominator. B on A means what should come in the denominator? A should come. Okay, A on B means B should come in the denominator. B on A means A should come in the denominator. But if they are asking only component or projection, you have to find the length. That length means the formula is A dot B by what is that? Modulus of B. But if they are asking vector, component vector or projection vector, what you should write? Write down the component or what is that? Projection, and multiply by what is its denominator? B cap. B cap. Okay, then it will be easy for you. Instead of by adding this, remember like this. So B cap is what? Vector B by modulus of B. That's all. Clear? So there are two things, projection vector is and also projection. Component vector or component. See, projection or component is one and the same. Different words, same meanings. Okay, but you have to know if they ask component or projection, you should write only this thing. But if they use vector, you should multiply by denominator. What is that? That unit vector you have to multiply. That's all. Clear? Now, let A and B be two non-zero vectors. Then component vector of B on A or orthogonal projection of B on A. Orthogonal projection, component projection, whatever they use, it is the same. Okay, orthogonal projection of B on A. This is the same thing. Now see here, orthogonal projection of B in the direction perpendicular that of B. Okay, orthogonal projection of B in the direction C. Let us take this one only. Okay, the component vector of A on B or orthogonal projection of A on B is given. Now they are telling, okay, the orthogonal projection of, let us take this as A in the direction perpendicular that of B. In the direction perpendicular to that of B, this will become, see here, projection of A on B, projection of A on B, projection vector or component vector of A on B. Now they are asking projection of A on B, fine, projection of A on B or projection vector of A on B, fine, but perpendicular to the direction of B, perpendicular to the direction of B. Perpendicular to the direction of B means what? Here one line should come. Perpendicular to B means this is here, then one line should come. Earlier we were projecting A on B. Now they are asking please project A on B in such a way that it should be perpendicular to B. So you will, instead of projecting here, you will project where? You will project here. You will project here. You will project here. So for this, what is the formula? Same formula you copy it. Same formula you will copy. So same formula will copy. What is that? Projection of A and B, what is the formula? A dot B by what is that? B square. This is what? Vector B is there. So A on B perpendicular to the direction of B means you should write vector A minus. That's all. See, earlier A on B we were finding. Now A on B perpendicular to B. A on B instead of on B perpendicular to B they are asking. Earlier this to this. Now they are asking this instead of this, this one. So the answer is what? Same thing, whatever is there you write it here. But A on B means you should write vector A minus this. B on A means you should write what? Vector B minus this, but here A will come. Understood? Understood everyone? So this actually perpendicular, this represents what? Cross product, A cross B. This represents what? Dot product, A dot B. This is what we are having. Horizontal will always represent what? Horizontal will always represent A dot B. Vertical will always represent A cross B. This you keep this in mind. Okay. Now I'll tell about that when I talk about cross product. Now see here. Let me explain further again. See here. What's the time? I have to give break, huh? Okay, fine. Okay, we will take a break for 10 minutes, then we will continue from here. Okay, we will take a break for 10 minutes, then we will continue. Fine, then we will have a break. So we will meet again at 4:15. 4:15 we will meet. Okay, let us start. All right, let us resume. Okay. So we were talking about projection vector or component vector, but before that I told you what is projection and what is component. They are nothing but the same, but without vector what does it mean I told you. Correct, that is the magnitude I told you. So what does it, projection of A on B or projection of or component of A on B, the value will be equal to what? A dot B divided by magnitude of B. But if it is vector, you have to multiply by what is denominator B, B cap. You have to multiply by B cap. B cap will be what? Vector B by modulus of vector B. So if this is the scenario, see here, this is vector B and this is vector A. If they ask projection vector A on B, the formula will be A on B, the formula will be what? Whole square. Here what should come? This dot product into vector B. A on B means this is the formula. But if they ask only projection or component, you will write what? A dot B by vector B, that's all. For this, if you multiply by what? B cap, you will get this vector. Understood? Any doubt now? Now, projection of A on B, they are asking. They are not talking about any direction. Now, projection of A on B perpendicular to B. Projection of A on B, what is that they are talking? Perpendicular to B. Perpendicular to the B means this, there should be a line that is perpendicular to B. Correct? So, this is the thing. Perpendicular to B. Perpendicular to B means what is the projection of A on B? Same thing you write down. Perpendicular to B means you should write what? A minus, this is what? A dot B into what is that? B by vector B by vector B modulus whole square. Same thing. What is that? A on B perpendicular to B means same thing you will be writing down, but you will subtract it from vector A. Subtract it from vector A. So this can also be called as A cross B by vector B. Vector A cross vector B by vector B. A cross B by vector B, and this can also be written as, if I write like this projection, if I write it, this is what I will write it. I will write it as what? A dot B into vector B by vector B whole square, modulus of vector B whole square. This can also be written as A dot B by vector B. This is A dot B by vector B. This on this directly is dot product. This on this perpendicular to this is what? Cross product. That's all. So A on B means you should subtract from A. B on A means the formula will change. You should subtract from B. Understood? You will write no. If it is B on A, if it is B on A, just wherever A is there, write B. Wherever B is there, write A. That's all. Okay. Understood? Bhavani, Siri, Ritika, Sharan. Other boys, who is that boy? New boy. Where is he, that boy? He went to home. Just to, I don't know where he will go. Okay, fine. Clear with this concept? Okay, let us proceed. Now some like how you studied in binomial theorem, certain properties. A plus B whole square, and it comes to vector, it is same as normal. What is that? Magnitude of A square plus magnitude of B square plus 2 times A dot B. There is not magnitude. 2 times A dot B, that is what? Dot product. A minus B whole square is what? Same thing, minus 2 times A dot B. A plus B whole square, A plus B plus C whole square, magnitude is what? Magnitude of A plus B plus C, that is A square, B square, C square, 2 times A dot B, B dot C, C dot A. Okay? These are the properties you have to remember. These are the properties you got to remember. Clear? Done? Now we will go to cross product. See, What are the things that we studied? Addition, subtraction, collinear, coplanar, okay. Then unit vector, then what did we study? Projection or component vector in same direction and perpendicular direction, and then dot product and some properties. Now we'll be studying cross product. After that we'll be studying triple product, that is triple dot product and triple cross product, okay. Now cross product, or also it is called as vector product, okay. In dot product, whatever you do, the result what you will get, that will be a scalar. Here what you do, the result, the answer what you will get, that will be a vector. That is why it is also called as vector product or also cross product. Of vector product are represented by A cross B is defined as magnitude of A cross B is equal to AB sin theta. See here, you are talking about magnitude. There you are writing as what? A dot B, it is equal to magnitude of A, magnitude of B cos theta, correct na? But here it is what? Magnitude of A cross B is what? Magnitude of A, magnitude of B sin theta, okay. Sin theta, here actually magnitude shouldn't come, okay, leave it, okay. So this A cross B vector will be 0 when, if and only if either A is 0 or B is 0 or both A and B are parallel vectors. Parallel vectors means what? Theta will be equal to 0. So A cross B will be equal to 0. There you cannot say like that. Either A is 0, B is 0, you cannot say. Here A cross B is equal to 0 if A is 0 or B is 0 or if A and B are parallel vectors, meaning that there is no angle between them, that is angle between them is 0, because sin 0 is what? 0, okay. So their parallel means what? Parallel means A dot B will be equal to 1. Here parallel means A cross B will be equal to 0, understood, okay. Next, A cross B will be equal to 1. A cross B will be equal to 1, okay. The vector product of any vector is with itself is 0, okay. A cross B will be equal to 1 when they are perpendicular, because sin 90 is equal to 1. Now see here, the vector product of any vector with itself, that is 0, that is A cross A. There A dot A is what? Parallel vector means angle 0, cos 0 is 1, but here it is what? Sin 0, sin 0 is 0. So A cross A, B cross B, C cross C, D cross D, anything cross of cross with itself, the answer will be 0, because sin 0 is 0, okay. There it is what? A dot A is 1, B dot B is 1, C dot C is 1, D dot D is 1, but whenever cross comes, it is 0. But if it comes A cross B, unit vectors, if it comes I cross J, suppose I say I cross I, the answer is 0, I dot I, the answer is 1, okay, okay. But if I say I dot J, answer will be what? 0, 0. I cross J, the answer will be what? 1. Understood? Listen carefully. I, okay, dot I cross I, the answer will be 1. The answer will be 0. Now I, J, if I say, what is this? Dot I dot J. Dot J means cos 90 degree will be equal to what? Cos 90. This is perpendicular. Cos 90 degree will be equal to what? 0. This value will be equal to 0. I cross J, sin 90 degree will be equal to what? 1. So I cross J value will be equal to 1. If you remember like this, it is enough. See, dot same values means 1. Cross same values means 0. Okay, dot different values means 0. Cross different values means 1. Like this you remember. Clear? Getting it, Sahiti? Understanding? Okay. Siri focusing? Okay. So evaluation of A cross B. So there I told you, when it comes to what? Dot product A1, B1, A2, like that if we get, we will write what? A1, B1 plus A2, B2, A3, B3. Here if it is given like this, you would write what? First you should write IJK, then what you should write? A1, A2, A3, then B1, B2, B3. You should find what? Determinant of this. Determinant of this you have to find. Vaishnavi, focus. Okay. You have to prioritize your sleep also well. Okay. You should not lack in sleep also. That doesn't mean that you have to sleep in class. Sleep well in the hostel. Okay. Understood, Ritika? That doesn't mean I told you to sleep, you sleep in other class and tell my name. Okay. Getting it? Everyone I am telling, not just her. Don't laugh. Okay. So this is what? A cross B means A should come first. B cross A means what should come? B should come first. Please be careful. B cross A means B should come in the second row. I, J, K will always be in the first row. Okay, getting it, Neha? Getting it, Liharikas, Srinidhi? Now Lagrange's identity. Lagrange's mean value theorem we have heard. Same thing, Lagrange's identity is there in vectors. They have asked questions based on this. If A and B are two vectors, they are saying the relation between cross product and dot product. If you ask what is the relation between dot product and cross product, that is given by Lagrange's identity. The relation between cross product and dot product is given by Lagrange's identity. What does it say? Modulus of A cross B whole square is equal to modulus of A square modulus of B square minus A dot B whole square minus A dot B whole square minus A dot B whole square. So suppose A cross B whole square is, this is nothing but equal to what? Sin square theta, correct na? This will be what? I am just expanding it. A square B square, this will be what? Cos square theta. Now see here A cross B, A square B square, here A square B square, here A square B square is there. If I take it outside and make it cancel it, I will get what? Sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta. Sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta. Is it true or not? It is true. So that is what Lagrange's identity say. So it shows the relation between what, Harsha? Cross product and dot product. Correct na, Nikhil? So what does it say? A cross B, modulus of A cross B whole square is equal to what? Modulus of A square, modulus of B square minus, what is it? A dot B whole square. A dot B whole square. Okay. This can also be written in terms of determinant as a what? A into A into B. What is this? A into B, B into A. See, A into A, see here. A into A, B into B. A into B, A into B. That's all. Okay. Like this way also you have to remember. So please write this down. This first line. Lagrange's identity, what does it say? Please write down. Because this will be useful in the question, solving the questions. Got it? See, I know there is a lot of theory. I can say there are a lot of concepts. See, you have to know these concepts if you have to solve the question. So today I will be doing more of concepts. Questions we have solved, we will be doing it in the next class also, the questions. But here, the concepts are important. Next one. So this we forgot. Let L and M be scalars. If they are given L and M be scalars, so see here, minus vector A into B, A into minus of this. So minus you can take it, or minus you can totally take it outside, minus A cross B. This minus A cross B, if I reverse it, it will become what? B cross A, it will become minus into minus will become plus. Correct na, Bhavani? So A cross B minus A cross B, I can write it as what? B cross A. Correct? So minus into minus, this will become plus A cross B. Then L times A into B, L I can take it outside, or L I can send it inside. Then L times A into M times B, L I can take it outside, I can write it as what? A cross B. Okay, not that important, but you should know. Anyway, you can play. Okay, same normal as real numbers. Yes, it is for MPC. EAPCET. Before we go there, we will solve one question, then we will become active. Okay, please listen, all of you. They have given ABC are three vectors such that ABC are three vectors such that 2024 AP they have asked, such that magnitude of A, magnitude of B, magnitude of C is given, and A plus B plus C is equal to 0. Then the angle between vectors A and B is what? They are asking the angle between vectors A and B. So angle between vectors A and B, how do you find out? See, A and B means we have to consider only A and B. What about Y? C is given. They have given some relation. Correct. Now what is that? A plus B plus C is equal to 0. What I can do? C I can send it that side. A plus B is equal to minus C. Okay. I will apply magnitude sign on both sides. This one modulus sign. So this will become what? A plus B. If I apply modulus, this will become minus, will become plus. Correct na? This what I will have. Now I will square on both sides. Okay. If I square on both sides, this minus will become plus anyways, that way also. Okay. This is what we have. Keep this relation as it is. Keep this relation as it is. Or what is this relation say? I can reduce what? A square plus what is this? B square plus 2 times what is it? A dot B or modulus of A dot B? A dot B. It is 2 times A dot B. That is equal to what? This modulus of C whole square. Now they are asking what? They are asking the angle between this. Angle between this, we know the formula cos theta, we will use it. So here if you substitute, A square is what? This is what? 25. Just put the values. A square is what? 25. B square is what? 64. Okay. Plus 2 times A dot B. A dot B means what? Magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta. So magnitude of A is what? 5. Magnitude of B is what? 8 into cos theta. Magnitude of C square. C is what? 11. 11 square is 121. That's all we are doing. Just putting the value. See, it's very simple question. Looking at this, you will think that angle is for 2 vectors. What to do with the third vector? Just use the relation what they have given. Okay. So what we can do here? Just substitute the values. So 25 plus 64 is how much? 89. Correct na? 121 minus 89 is how much? 32. 121 minus 89 is 32. So this will be what? 5 8s are 40. 80. So 80 cos theta is equal to what? 121 minus 89 is what? 32. So cos theta is equal to what? 32 by 80. Okay. If it is for your higher class students, I will start from 2 tables. But for you people MPC students, I will not start with 2 tables or 4 tables. Directly I will say 16 2s are 16 5s are. 16 2s are 16 5s are. So theta will be equal to what? Cos inverse of 2 by 5. So if you get such a question in the exam, you should be able to solve. You will solve, right? Okay, you should be able to solve. Nikhil, Harsha. Others, if you don't solve, I will ask question to you. Why you were not able to solve? Because this is very simple. Correct, no? Bhavani will solve, I know that. Liharika, Srini will also solve this question. Doubt is on. Okay, I will not doubt anyone. I will see. Shravanti will solve, but in the while putting the option, she may do some mistake. So you should be careful. Okay. Understood, Sahiti? Understood how to solve this question? Very simple. Use the relation what they have given. Neha. Okay. Asha, getting it? Nikhil, Sharan? Fine. Let us do one more question. Done? Understood how to solve this? Can we go to one more question of this type? Okay. If A, B are 2 vectors such that vector A is 3, magnitude of vector B is 4, magnitude of A plus B is 37, A minus B is K, and angle, this is what? A comma B is equal to theta. That means angle between A and B, it is given as theta. What is the meaning of this? Angle between A and B is given as theta. Then 4 by 13 K sin theta whole square is what? 4 by 13 K sin theta whole square is what? How to solve this question? Think about it. I will give you 2 minutes to think. What is the way to solve this question? That is good. Okay, after that? What you have to do, just put the values and find the answer. See, square on both sides. Correct na? Correct na, Shravani? Correct na? We have to square on both sides, Harsha. Correct no? Sharan, Nikhil. What we have to do? We have to square on both sides. So, whatever they have given, take it. What is it they have given? modulus of a plus b is what? Root 37. So square on both sides you will get what? Plus 2a dot b, vector a dot b. So a dot b should definitely come, then only you can find angle. This theta is the given. So it is equal to 37. Here you are not finding the angle, you have to find the value of this one. Okay. Now this is what is given. A is what? 3. This will become 9. This will become 16 plus 2. A dot b means I can write what? 2 modulus of a, 2 modulus of b into cos theta. Modulus of a is what? 3. Modulus of b is what? 4. So 2 into 3 into 4 into cos theta. That is equal to what? Equal to 37. I will write it here. Okay. 9 plus 16, 25. Okay. So 2 3 is 6, 6 4 is 24. 24 cos theta is equal to how much? 37 minus 25 is 12. Okay. So cos theta is equal to what? 1 by 2. When cos theta is equal to 1 by 2, what will become sin theta? They are not asking theta. See, we need sin theta. I got cos theta. See, look at the question. They are asking sin theta value. Using this relation, I will get sin theta value. So cos theta I got 1 by 2. If you don't know how to find, use the triangle. Or you can use what? 1 minus square root of 1 minus cos square theta is sin theta. Sin theta is what? Sin square theta is 1 minus cos square theta. So sin theta is what? Square root of 1 minus cos square theta. But you should not be using all those things. Directly you should be able to write the value root 3 by 2. Okay. So 1 by 2. So this is what? Root 3 by 2. So sin theta will become what? Understood how it is coming, Harsha? Root 3 by 2. Understood how it is coming? If you don't know what to do, draw a triangle. This is theta. So 10th trigonometry starts from here, correct na? So this will become what? Theta. So cos theta is what? Adjacent by hypotenuse. This will be 1, this will be 2. So 4 minus 1, this will be root 3. So opposite by hypotenuse, that is sin theta. Sin theta is root 3 by 2. You will get it. Okay, you can do it. No harm in doing this way. You have to do it correctly. So root sin theta, you got it. So we want k value. For that, what we will use? We will use this relation. So this, if I square it, Sirisha, what I will get here if I square this? I square both sides. Mod a square plus mod b square 2a dot b is equal to k square. A square b square, that is what? 9 plus 16, 25 minus 2 mod a mod b, that is what? 2 into mod a mod b, 2 into 3 into 4, that is cos theta. Cos theta, what is the value we got here? 1 by 2. I will write it directly. Cos theta value 1 by 2 is equal to k square. 2 cancels. 25 minus 12. 25 minus 3 4s are 12, that is k square will be equal to what? 13. So we got k square. Now we want the value of this. 4 by 13. They are asking k sin theta whole square. So that I can write it as what? 4 by 13 k square sin square theta. Correct na? K square sin square theta. So this will become what? 4 by 13. K square is what? 13. Sin square theta 3 by 4. 13 13 cancel, 4 4 cancel. I will get the value as what? 3. The answer is option 3. Is there any difficulty in this question? Just you have to apply squaring on both sides. Cos theta you will get sin theta. Very simple. See, of course it is taking time to solve. Okay, but if you know the concept, you can solve it very fastly. I am taking time because I have to explain. Otherwise, directly I will be able to do this. I will not waste time multiplying 2 into 3 into 4 and all. I will write it directly, fast. Okay, that you can do. So within 2 minutes, if not 1 minute, 1.5, 2 minutes, you can solve this question. But you will get full marks. Okay, such easy questions you should not leave. Vectors is a scoring topic. Vectors is a scoring topic. You have to do multiple revisions and practice when it comes to vectors, trigonometry, all these things. High yielding topics. Binomial theorem, 2 questions definitely you can do. Application of derivatives, you have to revise more. Okay, very easy. Next thing. Understood this one, everyone? Got it, everyone, this one? See, if f is given and g is given like this, then the projection of vector f on g, they are asking very simple direct formula. F on g means what you should do? What is the formula I should write here? F dot G into G bar, correct na? It should be F dot G, right? Into G cap, instead of that I'll write G bar here, okay, divided by G bar whole square, correct na? F on G. So F dot G means what I can write? This into this. See, F dot G means F dot G, that what is that? I can use the formula A1 A2 B1 plus B1 B2 plus C1 C2. So 1 into 2 is what? 2. Okay. 1 into minus 1 is what? Minus 1. Okay. 1 into 3 is what? 3 plus 3 into G is what? What is this G? Vector G is what? Vector G is what? 2i minus j plus 3k. Correct na? Correct? Divided by what is this magnitude of G? Magnitude of G is what? 2 square plus 1 square plus 3 square. So magnitude of G is what? Magnitude of G is 2 square is 4 plus 1 plus 9. That is what? Root 14. Root 14 is the magnitude, but here we are squaring it again. So this will be 14. Okay, so I'll have 14 here. Then what about this? 2 plus 3, 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. So 4 by 14. So that will be what? 2 by 7. Correct na? 2 by 7. So 2 by 7 into this one. 2i minus j plus 3k. Understood or not? Everyone? Navneeta got it? Harsha, Sharan, Nikhil understood? Gayatri, Anusha understood how we got this? Sravanti, Sahiti, Vaishnavi and Spandana. Getting it? How we got this? So second option is the right one. Very simple question, just directly based on the formula. Clear? Okay, let us proceed. So now let us discuss about areas pertaining to vectors. So we learned what is dot product, cross product and their properties and some questions. Now let us see what is areas. If ABC is a triangle such that AB is equal to vector A and AC is equal to vector B, then area of the triangle ABC is given by half into A cross B. Suppose we are having ABC like this vector A and AC is equal to vector B. See, two adjacent sides are having vector like this, and if you find the angle between this or whatever. So if you are having two sides like this, okay, then we can find what? Half into A into B. This is A into B means you should use what? Half into magnitude of A cross B. Half into magnitude of A cross B you should do it. Half into magnitude of A cross B. Clear? Got it? Half into magnitude of A cross B. You should be able to do it. That's the way to find area of triangle ABC. Clear? Got it? Some more areas. So if they give parallelogram, how to find it? Done? So parallelogram, it is nothing but two triangles. If you combine, definitely you will get parallelogram. Okay. So parallelogram, if you use a diagonal, the triangles which you get, they are similar and also they are congruent. Okay. So two triangles area if you add, you will get what? Parallelogram. So that's why area of, if ABCD is a parallelogram, AB is equal to A and BC is equal to B, then area of parallelogram ABCD, instead of half, this is what? A cross B. Half will not be there. In triangle, half will be there. In parallelogram, half won't be there. So the answer is what? A cross B. Modulus of A cross B. Clear? Modulus of A cross B, because area is a what? Some value you have to get, not some any equation. Clear? So this is what A cross B, you will get the value for what? Area of parallelogram. Area of triangle A cross B divided by 2. Now A, B, C are position vectors vertices. A, B, C describe counterclockwise. Then area of triangle A, B, C. Now A, B, the value is given as vector A. B, C, the value is given as B. But if they give position vectors A bar, B bar here, this is what C bar here, like this. Instead of giving here, they are not given the vectors here, they were given position vectors. Position vectors means it is with respect to origin. Okay, they were given position vectors, not the length like this. Okay, then what is the area if they ask? The area will be equal to, area of triangle ABC will be equal to half into what is that? A into B, see here, A into B, B into C, C into A. Okay, C into A. So what way you should take? Anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise direction you should take. See here, see like this, A into B, B into C, C into A. It is into means it is cross, not dot product. In area you will never use dot product. Dot product only place where you will use is to find the angle. But for area always it is cross product. Remember this. Dot product you will use for angle, finding the value of theta. But for area, all these things, magnitude values, you will always use what? Cross product. So if they are given length A as vector A, this is vectors B, then you will use what? Half into cross product of A into B, that is A and B. But if you give position vectors A, B, C, you should use what? Area of triangle ABC will be half into what is it? Position vector A cross B, B cross C, C cross A, anti-clockwise direction, counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction. This you have to remember. Okay, understood? Earlier what we got, see, this is what they gave, A, B, B, C. They gave A, this is A, this is B. Then what do we do? Half into A cross B we can find out for this one. But here it is different. They have not given this value. They have given the free vectors, that is position vectors A, B, C. That time what you should do? This is the formula. Understood? Same formula, this simple. What you should do? Half into magnitude of A cross B, B cross C, C cross A. You have to remember this. Clear? So just depending on the question, you have to apply the formula. Okay, can we proceed further? Noah? So in parallelogram, if they give, instead of giving adjacent sides, if they give the diagonal, if they give the two diagonals, that time area is given by half into D1 into D2, D1 cross D2. See, normally if they give adjacent side, remember here, if they give the adjacent sides of a parallelogram, area will be equal to what? A cross B. But if they give the diagonal, area will be equal to half into D1 cross D2, where D1 and D2 are diagonals of the parallelogram. Clear? This is important because they have asked question on this. This formula you have to remember. Normally parallelogram area is what? A cross B. What is that? Cross product of adjacent sides. But if they don't give the adjacent sides, if they give the diagonal 1 in cross diagonal 2 divided by 2. Okay, that is the area. Understood, Vaishnavi? Okay. Now this is one thing. Now what I am going to tell is very important. For any vector A, see, A into I whole square, A into J whole square plus A into K whole square, that value will be equal to a 2 times modulus, okay, 2 times magnitude of A whole square. So for any vector A, you can write it as what? 2 times magnitude of A square. If it is cross product, so if it is dot product, A dot I, A dot J plus A dot K, if it is given, you will write it as what? A1, A2, A3. A1 plus A2 plus A3. If it is what? Dot product. If it is cross product, you will write 2 times magnitude of A square. See, A1 cross I whole square, A1 cross J whole square, A1 cross K whole square is equal to 2 times magnitude of A whole square. But if it is dot product, you will write A1 plus A2 plus A3. This is important, not this one. Okay, write down this one. Okay, now try this question, all of you. They have given if vector A is this one, vector B is this one, okay, are two vectors, then angle between the vectors 2 times vector A and B by 2. How to find this? Cross you should not use. When angle you have to find, you have to use dot product, okay. A cross when you will use for area. So here they are asking what? Angle. So once angle comes, you should strike it in your mind. It is what? It is dot product. So here you have to find the dot product of what? The angle between not A dot B they are not asking. They are asking what? 2 times into B dot B by 2. 2 times into B by 2. 2 times A into B by 2. So they are asking this angle. So 2 times A into B by 2. Okay, B by 2. Now if I look at this 2 times A into B by 2, this will give us actually what? A dot B only, right? A dot B only will get it. So first let us find out A dot B only. Okay, why we have to do all this? So even if it is 2A B by 2, okay, what you are changing if you are writing 2 times A B by 2, what you are changing? Only the magnitude you are changing, but angle will remain the same. Correct na? So see here, if this is vector A, if this is vector B, if this is theta, if you are manipulating with this 2A, this is B by 2, whatever if you do, the angle will remain the same, angle will not change. So for such type of questions, directly find what? A dot B. A dot B is what? Magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta, or A dot B means what? What you will do? This into this, correct na? Cos theta we have to find, means they are asking angle, right? You will write what? Cos theta is equal to, what is that we are having? A dot B by mod A mod B. A dot B, that is what? 4 into root 2, correct na? See, A1 A2 plus B1 B2 plus C1 C2, 4 into I, that is what? 4 root 2. Where is there? Minus is there. Okay, minus 4 root 2. Okay, plus 2 into what? Minus 2 root 2. Then what we are having? Plus 4. Plus 4, nothing is there, means that is 0, right? That is 0. So leave it. 0 into something, 0. Now modulus of this. So this is what? 16, 20, 36. Square root of 36 is what? 6. This will be 6. Then 4 plus 4, 8. That I can write it as what? 2 root 2. The square root of 8 is what? 2 root 2. So this will be what? Into 2 root 2, not plus, into 2 root 2. Now what I can do? Root 2 I can take common. Root 4, huh? 2 plus 2, huh? Root 2 is there. Okay, I thought 2. Root 2 plus root 2 will get what? See, root 2 whole square plus root 2 whole square under square root. This will be what? 2 plus 2, that is 4, that is 2. 2, we will get 2. Okay, we will get 2. Okay, now if I take root 2 common, this will become what? Minus 6. Root 2 is there, right? I can write minus 6 root 2 only. 6 root 2 only. This is what? 6 by 2 I can write it as what? Root 2 into root 2. Correct na? So root 2 cancel. 6 is cancel. I will have what? Minus 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 I will get for what? 45 degree. Another thing is, in second quadrant cos is negative. Okay, so the answer will be 135. Only possible value is 135. Understood? Very simple na? So instead of doing 2A B by 2, if you will get cancel, it is nothing but what? A cross the A dot B only. Understood? Cos theta value how to find out? Simple. Understood? Now simple questions are coming from vectors, so you should not miss. Some questions are calculative, but you should be able to do. Okay, because it is definitely you can get correct answer. Okay, even if it is taking some time, it's okay, but you can score here. Okay, understood? Neha, Liharika, Srinidhi. Hello? Hello? Clear with this? Okay. All of you please write down this question. You have to do it by yourself. A unit vector perpendicular to the two vectors, vector A and B. A unit vector perpendicular to this. Just write down this. Written all of you? Okay. Now, so when it comes to scalar triple product, so now we are done dot product, cross product. So scalar triple product, I'll just give an introduction. We have scalar triple product and we have vector triple product. Okay. So scalar triple product. So when we talk about scalar triple product, if vector A is denoted by A1, A2, A3, that is A1I, A1j, A2j, A1I, A2j, A2k, that is what it means, A1, A2, A3, B is B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3, then ABC, the dot product of ABC, that is scalar product, that is we will write it as box ABC. We will write it as what? Box ABC is given by what? Is given by determinant of this. You have to find the determinant of A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. And here also it is very important. If it is starting with A, you should write A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Okay. A1, A means A should come here. B means vector B should come here. It should be, you should be very careful writing this. You should not change the order here. So ABC, if they ask, if it is normal cross product, normal dot product, you will do magnitude of A into B cos theta, but here it is what? 3 triple product. So we should do what? Determinant of A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. That is how you will find out. So this is what when it comes to scalar triple product. Now 4 points A, B, C, D are coplanar. So 4 points are coplanar. That means what? AB, AC, AD, the scalar triple product of this should be equal to 0. Same thing. What you are doing there? Coplanar, collinear means what you are taking? Determinant is equal to 0. Here also determinant is equal to 0. What is this? AB, AC, AD? AB will denote it as A, AC will denote it as what? B, AD will denote it as C, something like this. Okay. So 4 points. See, 4 points are required to make 3 vectors. Okay, triple product only. So ABC should, that is box of ABC should be equal to 0. So there also see 2 vectors also collinear or coplanar if they ask. Determinant is equal to 0. Here also 4 points. If they ask coplanar or collinear or whatever, here also determinant should be equal to 0. So this value is what? Box of this one ABC is nothing but how you will find out? Determinant. See, what did you do here? ABC, how did you find out? Box of ABC, you will find the determinant. But if they are coplanar, you will make this equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, it is not coplanar. First thing is what? If it is coplanar, the first thing is ABC. Box of ABC, how you will find out? I am telling box so that you understand. Box of ABC is what? You will find the determinant. But if they are coplanar, this box of ABC, that is nothing but the determinant, will be equal to 0 if it is coplanar. Clear? Please make a note of it. Please make a note of it. Okay. So based on this, from here we will continue in the next class. Fine. So we will wind up now. So let us summarize what all we did. So vectors, we started the concept of vector, how it is different from a scalar. Then we studied what? Like vectors, unlike vectors, that is parallel vectors. then unit vector, collinear vectors, coplanar vectors, and also vector equation of a line, vector equation of a plane, then dot product, cross product, Lagrange's identities, questions based on all these things, and areas. Areas means cross product, angle means dot product, projection or component, okay, in the same direction, projection vector, and in perpendicular direction. All these things we studied, and we have started with what? Scalar dot product or scalar triple product. Okay, scalar triple product we have started, that is box of ABC. We have to find the determinant. Okay, if determinant, or if it is coplanar, the determinant will be equal to 0. So till here we have done. From here we will be continuing in the next class. Okay, so all right then, thank you. Let's meet in the tomorrow session. Take care.